Hi everyone, I'm Darrell Steinberg. I'm the mayor of Sacramento, and I want to thank all of you for being here and for watching this video so we can all learn from each other about how we can make Sacramento the state and nation's leader when it comes to combating climate change. We're the capital city of California. We have to lead.
The interesting things about climate change is that the climate kind of has this momentum. So we've already built up a lot of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. There's going to be changes that continue to take place. So if we can start decreasing our emissions, while we'll still see a hotter planet, we'll see the least bad option of the future scenarios. That's really what the Climate Action Plan is all about, is thinking through the different ways we can address those issues. We're moving towards 100% renewable energy by 2045, or renewable electricity more specifically. So as we begin to electrify our uses, so buying electric vehicles or powering our homes with electricity instead of natural gas, that's one way we can really decrease the emissions associated with transportation and buildings.
What are some steps that the citizens of Sacramento can take in order to reduce greenhouse emissions?
That's a great question. So SMUD offers a program called Greenergy, which our customers can basically pay to ensure that renewable fuel sources are how they get their energy sources. So Greenergy is a great program. From a customer base for SMUD, we have a number of customer, not just programs, but we also have a SMUD store where you can buy appliances that are have a positive effect on the environment as well. So again, just using all the resources in front of you and leveraging SMUD, given that we're driven towards climate improvement, we can definitely help you along that way.
What is a carbon footprint, and what can homeowners do to evaluate their own?
Yeah, a carbon footprint is how much carbon is released into the atmosphere based on the things that you do in your own lifestyle, your own household's lifestyle. If it's in Sacramento and you got the thermostat set at 68 or 72 or 70, even 74, when really you could be putting up with 78 pretty easy once you get used to it. Or it takes a lot of air conditioning, which takes energy, so you burn more fuel to do that.
Transportation is responsible for 56% of greenhouse gas emissions. And how is the city addressing that?
Historically, the transportation sector in the United States has been responsible for an enormous amount of greenhouse gas emissions. So for us, the goal is to look at ways we can cut down on vehicle miles traveled. That could be enhancing transit, providing incentives for transit, providing reduced transit passes. It can be providing infrastructure such as parking protected bikeways, wider sidewalks, things that enhance the pedestrian environment. It could be working with people in the private sector to provide programs where at work they have bike lockers and showers that make it more easier to use alternative modes of transportation. At the end of the day, the city is a passive partner. I mean, we really depend on every individual person to address this in their own way. What we can do is provide the infrastructure that sets the backdrop for that to happen.
So what is active transportation and why is it critical in addressing to climate change?
Active transportation is moving or mobility that uses walking or biking or self-propelled modes that have zero greenhouse gas emissions or zero emissions. That could include your own bicycle, your own skateboard, a scooter, an electric bike, or an electric scooter. Why is it important around climate change? So they have zero emissions, so they're not contributing to climate change. And in fact, they're really helping the city in many other ways, not even just with climate change, but how we address congestion, how we address affordability of transportation, and how we address safety.
Tell us why transportation is key to addressing climate change.
So I think transportation is key to many, many things. People think of transportation just as transportation, but it's really about economic development. It's about jobs, it's about school. So we know, for example, that chronic absence is the main reason, or the main reason that kids have chronic absence in school is transportation issues. So what we've done here in Sacramento, starting October 1st, all young people who live or go to school in Sacramento will be able to ride public transit for free, anywhere, anytime. It's the first time in the nation at that level that anyone's done that. So what that does is it helps kids get to school. So average daily attendance goes up, the schools make more money. It hopefully helps kids get to jobs, if they have jobs, get to where they need to be, safe places. And importantly, in this instance, it's going to help us with the climate because it will get more people out of their cars, and hopefully by creating lifelong riders, public transit riders, we change culture and habit early on, and then young people are riding public transportation. The fewer cars we have, which is 50% of the cause of climate change or pollution, that will help us in the long run.
What should the role of young people be in addressing climate change?
My generation has done some things well, and many things we have not. And certainly, by the time we're ready to leave the stage, our work will be incomplete. If we're going to meet this audacious goal of carbon neutrality by 2045, it's going to be the 15 and 16 and 18 and 20 and 22-year-olds that are going to have to take the mantle and make sure that whatever we may put in place in 2019 and 20, that there is actual follow-through. Your time to get prepared, to get involved, is now. And by the way, there is no substitute for young people actually showing up to the halls of power now, not waiting, and insisting that the adults hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you have better futures. And so I'd say that two things. Number one, be advocates and organize and come to the halls of power at the local level, at the state level, at the national level, and insist that we hold true to the goals of the Sacramento Climate Commission. And then prepare yourselves, because you will soon be in those positions of power before you know it.
We'd like to thank everyone who took the time out of their days to let us interview them.
Mayor Steinberg,
Ryan Moore and Jennifer Donlon Wyant,
Councilmember Schenirer,
Jose Bodipo-Memba and Ryan Gardner,
and Paul Trudeau.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our survey in the link below.